Begin.
Hello, I'm Dr. I'll be the attending doctor for today. Are you Mr. Zaid?
Yes, Doctor, that's
Can
fine.
I have your age, please?
I'm 25, Doctor.
Right, thank you so much for confirming. So, how can I help you today?
I'm having this bad headache, Doctor.
I can see that you're a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Shall we continue?
Yeah, I can talk, but I'm having a very bad headache today, Doctor.
Right, can you please tell me more about your headache?
Yeah, it started like last night,
Okay.
and it's just there, it's really bothering me.
Right, so can you please tell me how did the headache start?
It was all of a sudden.
Okay, and where exactly is the pain?
My right side, Doctor.
Right, and what type of pain is it?
It's like sharp pain, throbbing pain.
Okay, and does it move anywhere else?
No, it just stays in my head.
Okay, and is it coming and going or is it always there?
It's always there.
Okay, and is there anything that makes it better?
I haven't tried anything.
Right, and anything that brings it on?
I had this kind of pain before, you know. Usually I take paracetamols for it,
Right,
but I tried to take paracetamol yesterday, but it's not going anywhere.
okay, and on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being low and 10 being high, how would you rate your pain?
It's like 8, Doctor.
It's 8.
Mhm.
You mentioned that you've had these headaches before.
Yeah.
When was the last time you had this in the headache?
A couple of weeks before, actually, I was diagnosed with migraines.
Right.
And these headaches, they just keep coming back. But I always take paracetamol, and
Okay, so it's not helping now.
no, it's not helping
Okay,
anymore.
so before the headache started, do you experience any straining sensation?
Sometimes I just feel like I'm smelling a weird, just some weird smells.
Okay, and do you feel sick at all?
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit sick now.
Okay, and did you vomit?
No, yeah.
Right, and is there anything else along with it?
No, just the pain, Doctor.
Right, and do you have any early morning vomiting or any early morning headache?
No,
Alright, and do you have any blurring of vision?
no, Doctor.
Okay, and have you noticed any change in your weight?
My weight?
Yeah, recently.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Okay, and do you have weakness of any part of your body?
Nope.
Are you running temperature?
No, Doctor.
Any rash on your body?
No rash.
Okay, and have you been diagnosed with any other medical condition in the past?
No, just the migraines.
Right, and just a couple of questions about your lifestyle.
Sure.
Can you please tell me what kind of food do you normally like to eat?
Mostly well balanced diet. I eat home cooked food.
Okay, and do you drink tea or coffee?
Not very much.
Okay, and do you drink alcohol?
Yes.
Can you please tell me how much?
On the weekends,
Right, and do you smoke?
I do smoke, yes.
Can you please tell me what do you smoke?
Cigarettes.
And how many cigarettes
Like 10 sticks a day.
a day? And for how long have you been?
Maybe like 5 years now.
5 years, right. And are you allergic to anything?
No, Doctor.
Okay, is there anyone in your family with a history of similar phobia?
Uh,
Perhaps migraine?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, and what do you do for a living?
I have an office job now.
Office job. And right, does it require increased exposure to the light?
No, I'm just sitting in front of my laptop all day doing work, and this headache has actually been, you know, kind of bothering me at work. And just as you have mentioned now, yeah, I feel that light is bothering me.
It's bothering you.
Yeah, light is kind of bothering me.
Are you comfortable?
Yeah, I can talk, yeah.
Right. And is there anything else? Is there anything I missed that you'd like to touch upon?
I'm not sure, Doctor.
Right. And so I'd like to examine you now. Would that be okay with you?
Sure, what exactly would you like to
Well,
say?
just I'll be examining your eyes and just a neurological exam, checking your nerves.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. So from
Okay,
what
examinations are free.
right. So from what I've gathered, it seems like you've been having the similar episode. You've been having migraine.
Yeah.
Okay. And
But why is it not going away, Doctor?
well, you told me that you work, you have an office job,
Mhm.
and you mostly sit in front of the screen. So it seems like because of the increased exposure to the screen, you've been having this headache.
Okay, so it's just migraines.
Yeah, it seems like it's migraine.
But why is it not going away?
Well, unfortunately, it is a long-term condition. There is no cure to it. However, there are some medications available that can prevent
2 minutes remaining.
happening.
Yeah, no, I'm taking the medication. But
Yeah. So since you mentioned that you're taking paracetamol and they're not working, so what we can do for you now is we can start you on some new medications.
Okay, what kind
Okay.
of medication?
So these medications, they are NSAIDs, ibuprofen medication.
Okay.
Okay. And since you feel sick, we can start you on some anti-sickness medication.
Okay.
Okay. It's called metoclopramide. We can start you on this medication.
Okay.
And normally, now is very important that if this medication doesn't work, we can start you on another medication that's called sumatriptan.
Okay.
Yeah. So for now, we'll be sticking on to the ibuprofen and also the other medication which I've just mentioned.
Mhm.
And it is advisable for you to keep a migraine diary. Okay.
Okay.
And notice what symptom you experience and when do you experience, and mention the date and time so that we can keep a track of your condition. Okay. So it will help us track your condition and see what kind of things they are bothering you, so we can stop doing it.
Okay.
Okay. And also it's very important that you reduce your screen time. Is it okay that you can talk to your boss so that they can change the screen for you, the protective screen maybe?
Okay, I might do that, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And you can take breaks. Okay,
Mhm.
if we are using the screen for a lot of for increased period of time, what you can do is you can take the breaks. And
Is it related to stress, doctor?
yes, it is related to stress.
Mm.
And since you mentioned that you are working, so it does cause a lot of stress. So it is advisable for you to take to do relaxation exercises, some yoga every day in the morning, perhaps like 10 to 25 minutes before you leave for work.
Move on to the next station.
Okay, so I would say well done. Yeah, just a few things to add. Did you try to find out what was the difference in the pain, in the features of the pain this time around and before? How this is different? Is it just the intensity or the duration?
Yeah, duration is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are the important things. Overall, I would say you have very good communication
Yeah,
skills and you have very good
definitely.
structured way of taking the history. So I really appreciate, and you kept the patient involved, and
Yeah.
you address the concerns, and you try to suggest a patient on lifestyle, lifestyle modifications, relaxations and stuff, and anti-glare screen. That's very good. That's very good point. that you
Just
can
came up
suggest,
with it.
yeah.
Yeah, I came
That
up.
was improvisation.
It was in my head, but because we were practicing, so my brain it got really like fuzzy.
And that's actually how it goes in the exam. You know, under the pressure of the exam, your mind can work wonders. Your mind will just put information right in front of you. So I'm actually really happy that we did this today. It will bring the best out of them.
Yeah.
The stress brings the best out of you. The adrenaline, it gives you new ideas.
So that's very important. Now, when the patient comes and gives you some kind of similar history that they had in the past, okay, so do they? It is important to think about. Do they always come to the hospital when they get the migraines? No. So what has brought them to the hospital? No. What has changed? So that's very important. Okay, it can be at the same time the patient may have tumor, brain tumor, or anything
Red
else.
flags.
Yeah, okay. So ruling out the red flags, asking about the morning headaches and those kind of things is very important. Do not just simply stick to one thing that the patient has in the past, okay? So find out what's different today and in this episode of your headache than what you had before, okay? So that's important. Any new weakness, anything. Okay, so these are the important parts, but I think you did well. I will let Ahmed to add more.
Yeah, definitely. The overall performance, like the same performance in the exam, will allow you to pass the station. But definitely, a few things can be adjusted, like you did ask about the red flags. You can include any neck pain too, which is important in any headache.
I actually asked about fever and rash.
Yes,
So basically I was
neck
trying
pain
to
again.
So neck pain as
Yes.
well.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Because fever and rash are somehow general symptoms.
Oh yeah.
Okay, neck pain is very specific. Definitely, when you have any headache, you have to ask about the frequency of those headaches. Frequency is very important because according to the frequency, you can think whether you will give prophylaxis or not. So we have prophylaxis, which is beta blockers, propranolol, right? So like, let's say this patient has got frequent headaches, like 2 times a week, 3 times a week. Now we can give prophylaxis. But if it's like 2 times a month, maybe once a month, we wouldn't consider prophylaxis, okay? So prophylaxis is important if the patient is having frequent headaches. So ask him like, how frequent do you have those headaches, okay?
All right. So
It's actually my first time, so I got
Yeah,
no, I
definitely,
think
definitely, definitely. Very good,
so this is the feedback for everyone sitting
Yeah,
here
yeah.
or watching us. Again, just rule out the red flags. Okay, find out the difference between the 2 episodes, the one that you sat with at home and the one that has brought you to the hospital. Okay, the patient may still think that it's just a migraine, okay, but it may turn out to be subarachnoid hemorrhage.
serious.
Okay, so asking about the smoking history and history of bleeding in the brain kind of things in the family, okay, that's very important. So about it has very strong relevance with the smoking, like the subarachnoid hemorrhage, if you are ruling out that. So with the family history and smoking, both are strongly relevant. Okay.
So you did ask about family history. right?
Yeah.
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 I would like you to use more signposting. After finishing the main line of questioning of symptomatology, you can ask like right away, I will ask you some questions regarding your general health. So signposting is important.
Okay.
General health mean medical conditions, medications and allergies. Those are constant questions in any station. So you did forget to ask about them, right? They're very important. And then signpost again, I will ask you some questions regarding your lifestyle, and then you can ask the lifestyle questions. But don't forget the general health ones.
Okay.
I don't know if you check the eyes or not. Check idea
I
concern.
didn't because I felt like we shouldn't ask
Yeah.
ideas.
For the eyes, mainly ideas, concerns, and expectations. I always like encourage candidates
Yeah.
to do not, because these questions can very much make you sound very scripted, especially when asked out of context and out of place. So, for example, if you like right after taking the history, ask me, do you have any expectations from today's visit? This question might sound out of place. My expectations is for me to get better. After managing this and finishing the primary concern and the primary expectation and all of these things, you can ask, do you have any further expectation? For example, yeah, that's very important because I might need a sick note, for example, or whatsoever. So yeah, it's always good practice to ask about the expectations and the ideas and these things. But when you feel that you can inject them naturally inside the consultation.
No, I'm sorry for interruption. My feedback or my opinion to this is slightly different. I would say checking the ideas and the concerns can add a bit more, can give you the opportunity to find out what the patient is thinking of. He may be thinking of something else, and then in that case, it will give you the opportunity to explain and okay. The patient may now. The same patient may now have read because it was a prolonged episode of headache, and now he might have read just on the Google and that it can be bleed. Yeah, it can be bleed. So unless you give them the opportunity, they may not tell you. Okay, so if you don't ask, do you have you given any thoughts to it, or do you have any idea what it could be? You may not be able to get it. Okay, that the patient is thinking about the bleeding. Okay, then you can at least reassure, and that may be actually the part of your consultation expectations from the consultation. Okay, it does not take much long. I think the natural things should be natural. I'm not really strictly against that, but you need to make sure that you ask them just at least before you start talking about the management.
Well, yeah,
So
before
I was going to ask the same question. Like, can I ask about the concerns right before the examination?
This is very individual practice. Okay, my suggestion and my own practice is after taking the history, I always try to summarize it to the patient, and regardless whether this is a history or the concerns, if the patient has a concern, I ask them concerns, then list them, and then relay back. So I understand these are your concerns. Is anything that I'm missing? Okay. Is any other concern?
Yeah,
And
sometimes the patient, in this station specifically, sometimes the patient will have a concern in his mind, like I would like to have a CT, for example, or anything he read on the internet.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. If you do not allow them, especially in the opportunity where they can tell you what they have in their mind, okay. But if you are so fixated that you don't want to ask eyes or check eyes, I think that may be a bit daunting for the patient. They may not like it. Okay, the consultation will not be completed without that. So you need to involve the patient, ask them about, have you given any thoughts, and do you have any idea about this? Okay, what do you think it could be? Okay, and then maybe the same migraine patient may say, oh doctor, I'm really worried about the bleed. Okay, so then you will come to know that this is actually, the management here is not talking about the sumatriptan, about the NSAIDs and these kind of things. Mainly it is a reassurance and finding out why he is thinking about the bleed. Okay, has he read anywhere? Has someone said him? Okay, or has actually the pain changed, which is why he is thinking of the bleed. Okay, so that's why it is very, very important, in my understanding, always check eyes. Okay, especially in the history and the concerns. All right, so well done guys, keep it
Yeah,
up.
very well
We'll
done.
move to the next scenario.